Moving to Australia can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. The Move to Australia directory from Smart Steps to Australia brings together all the essential services you need into one convenient place, making it easier to find the right professionals to turn your dream into reality. Whether you're looking for a trusted migration agent, competitive shipping quotes, guidance on buying your first home, or help relocating your beloved pet, our directory has it all. We've curated the best services to support your new life in Australia. Find everything you need to make your move stress-free, with experts just a click away. Visit directory.smartstepstoaustralia.com and simplify your relocation journey today.
Welcome to the New Life in Australia podcast, hosted by me, Karen Bleakley, founder of smartstepstoaustralia.com. Moving to Australia with my family was a life-changing experience, but it wasn't without its challenges. That's why I'm passionate about making the relocation and resettlement process easier for you so you can enjoy this exciting adventure. Join me and my special guests as we share professional secrets and tips, learn from people who've made the move, and discover businesses that can help you realise your dreams. Now is the best time to create the life you've always wanted. This podcast is here to show you what's possible and to inspire you every step of the way. Let's go.
Let's take a moment to acknowledge the Gubbi Gubbi people, the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which I live, work and play. I thank them for the privilege of being able to live in such an incredible part of the world, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to this week's episode of the New Life in Australia podcast. I'm your host, Karen Bleakley, and in this week's episode, I am talking all about building your support network in Australia and how to make friends as an adult. So I know as someone who made the move to Australia, it was really quite stressful worrying about leaving behind friends and family and our support network when we made the move. We knew one family in the area where we were moving, and that was it. We actually just met another family online through a online forum as well. So we kind of knew them as well, but not very well. They were moving over at the same sort of time that we were to the same kind of area. So that was really helpful. But we were really stressful about moving, especially with little kids, because it can be really overwhelming. Just things like if you need to take one to an appointment and you've got 3 kids, you don't really want to take all of them and you've got no one to ask to help with the kids. You've got nobody there to kind of talk to if you're having trouble settling in or feeling homesick. Just there's so many occasions when you need a good friend. So this episode is all about how do you get to a stage where you can start making new friends in Australia, both as support, being friends, and also as a support network as well. So if you're just in the process of planning your move, or you've arrived and maybe you're feeling a bit lonely because you've left your friends and family behind, this episode is for you. The important thing is that your support network doesn't just happen. It is something that you build intentionally, one small connection at a time. And I know that I found that quite exhausting when we first arrived. It means saying yes to all of the opportunities that come your way for a little while. And I know when we made the move, we just felt a bit overwhelmed and exhausted just from having made the move and doing all the admin. And it was hard to have to go out and be friendly and meet new people and say yes all the time. But it really is part of the process, and it really does pay off when you start doing that. You will meet more people. There's a huge emotional reality when it comes to starting over, and you can kind of move abroad with lots of energy and confidence. But when you get over here and then you realise that you don't know anyone, it can be quite a vulnerable, scary position to be in. It's something that we all need. We all need friends. So I'm looking forward to kind of sharing some tips here with you to help you find your friendship network and meet some new people and just sort of start that process going. For me personally, I found it all quite overwhelming. I work from home, and that means that I don't get to go out and meet people in the workplace. I've got 3 little kids who were getting ready to start school or were at home with me. So it was challenging to kind of put myself in different situations. My husband was working shifts and he wasn't very close by. So if I needed anything, he wasn't really down the road. Like in England, he worked about a mile from our house. So if ever anything happened, I could just kind of ring him and say, help, can you come and help do this? Or can you come and help take one of the kids to the doctors, or be with the other kids while I take one to the doctors, or whatever is needed. Whereas that opportunity wasn't there because he was working shifts away from home and didn't really have the ability to kind of answer the phone very easily if I was ringing him with an emergency. It's that moment of realising that you're in your new life and you don't just have somebody to ring up in a panic over the phone when you need something, or if you're just having that really bad day, that you don't have somebody just to call up and say, can we meet for a coffee because I'm really feeling really down today. So it really is overwhelming. I totally get it, and I felt it too, so you're not alone. But really, part of the process of making the move to Australia, it's about settling in and rebuilding that safety net for yourself as well, so that you know that you've got people around you that care for you, that you care for, and you can create your own community. So getting that support network really does matter for quite a few reasons. As I say, you've got the practical support when you've got some emergency happening, you maybe need some childcare help, or maybe your car breaks down and you can't get the kids to school, or to school pickup to pick them up, or just those day-to-day little events that happen, that they do. Maybe the sink starts to leak, or something just happens and you just need to have somebody on hand that you want to call to come and help you. Then there's the emotional layer as well, where you just, as I say, want to meet someone for a coffee or go out for a meal with someone or a drink, and just tell them that you're feeling homesick and just kind of share the feelings that you're having. It's strange when you've got really good friends that know you really well for a really long time in your home country, sort of making friends here that don't know everything about you. It's a really kind of strange experience, but it's also quite freeing as well, because you get to choose who you create in your friendship network, who you actually want to spend that time with. So you get to decide who you include in your friendship network. It's something that you can create with intention. So rather than just being friends with somebody because you've known them for 10 years or 20 years or whatever it is, and you're just automatically friends because of the shared history, here you're actually going to be able to pick who you want to be friends with, because you really get on really well with them and you actually have a lot in common with them. So it's a really actually great opportunity to create the friendship network that you want going forward. You want to feel like you belong in Australia, and part of that comes with having that friendship group, so that you're not doing life alone, because life is always better when you're sharing it with the people that you care for. So creating your friendship network, it's not sort of a good to have thing. It's an essential part of actually settling into your new life. It's really important. And I encourage you to spend a little bit of time thinking about how you're going to do that. I know when we made the move, it wasn't something that I even thought about at all. And it did all kind of happen quite naturally. But then looking back on it now, I can see we did say yes to more opportunities so that we could actually meet new people and see who we actually clicked with, because that's really the important thing. Not everybody that you meet will become a lifelong friend, and that's okay. But you just have to say yes to more people, and then that gives you the opportunity to find those people that are going to be those lifelong friends. There's definitely a mindset shift when it comes to looking for friends as an adult. It's not as easy as when you were a child and you were at school surrounded by people all the time. Friends aren't something you just kind of go out and find. It's about building relationships over time. Not every connection needs to become that deep, long-lasting friendship, but it's really great to make lots of acquaintances, and it all just helps, because when you actually meet the people that you really do connect with, you really do realise that they're special and they're the ones that you actually want to focus on. But it's really helpful to have friends and acquaintances right across the board in lots of different areas of your life, because it's just helpful to have more people around you. It's the idea of being part of a community, whether you're there to help them, they're there to help you, and it's a really great way to help you settle into your new life. So the adult friendships that you make in Australia are different. They come from actual intention, and it comes from repetition, putting yourself out there, saying yes a lot more, having shared context, asking questions, and just, as I say, putting yourself out there is something that you need to do in a way that you probably didn't need to do before, because the friendships that you had before just fell in your lap because you just knew the people, as I say, through work or through university or through wherever. But they're those friendships just came to you really easily, whereas this time they will come easily, but you do need to make a bit more effort to actually go out there to find those friendships. So you're looking for the places that you can go where there are opportunities to create those friendships. So if you're looking for sort of some how-to and some practical kind of advice, then this is it. So friends don't really come from one single place. They come from everyday environments where you show up repeatedly, but they come when you start saying yes and looking for those opportunities. So I would always encourage you to be looking for those opportunities and doing what you can to cultivate those potential new friendships wherever you can. So everyday life is a great place to just meet people. So if you've got kids, I found that a really helpful way to make friends. You'll meet people at the school drop-off and at pick-up. You'll meet people in parks and playgrounds. You'll meet people at the kids' activities, at the sports, and you'll meet people kind of, well, you're just out and about on walking routes, in cafes, in your local community. I found all of those really helpful when we moved. I'd drop the kids off and then I'd say to the other mums, who wants to go for coffee? And even if I didn't feel like I'd got time, it was really helpful to just stop for half an hour and have a chat and hand over your phone numbers to each other. And then you've got that connection and you can ask them out again for another coffee date. Many of the really good friends that I've made here were made through that process, and it was really valuable. The other thing is your school has Facebook groups or WhatsApp groups. And so when we first arrived, quite often would just message the group and say, does anybody want to meet for a playground visit or a barbecue or a picnic? We'll all bring a bit of food with us and we'll all just show up in one place and the kids can play. And that was great because it gave the parents a chance to connect and to chat and get to know one another. And it also gave the kids a chance to hang out and meet other friends as well. So it was a really great way of kind of getting settled in. Kids' activities and sports are really common over here. So whether that's swimming lessons or gymnastics or soccer, there are loads of opportunities to hang out with the other parents. There's often lots of opportunities to volunteer as well, because quite a lot of the activities involve parents getting involved as well. Things like nippers and things were great for that as well when our kids were small. So there's loads of opportunities for you to get involved and meet the other parents and the organisers as well. But just being active in the local community. I know when we first arrived, I met a mum in one of the playgrounds and was chatting, and it was a great opportunity to ask her experience of local schools, and she was able to tell me what the schools were like in the area. And then she said, well, you don't know anyone, why don't we go for a coffee sometime? And like, I didn't know this person, I just met her 5 minutes before, and here she was offering to go for a coffee with me, and it was so kind. And we met so many people like that there was people we met through other people that had moved over. So people we knew other people who'd moved, and they were able to put us in contact with people, and they invited us over for a barbecue and for dinner, just to sort of get to know us and sort of so that we knew we had somebody in the area. It really did make a difference, and you only get somewhere with all of that by saying yes to all of the opportunities that you can and looking out for chances when you can be the one that says to somebody, do you want to come for that coffee? Here's my number. Another great way, if you've got kids in school, is to volunteer at the school. I know that our school had people come in to do reading with the kids. They're also always looking for parent helpers in the tuck shop. They often look for helpers in productions and things like dance competitions. So if you put your hand up and do some of that, it's a great way to meet other parents and to meet the teachers and to just get involved in the local community as well. Now, if you don't have kids, or even if you do and you're looking for different ways to make friends, just volunteering in general is a great opportunity. There are always opportunities for volunteering in so many different areas, and it can be useful for you as well if you're looking to build your resume as well, if you're looking to get back into the workforce over here. So volunteering is a really great way to meet people. There's clubs that you can join, sports clubs, surf clubs, whether you've got kids or not, there's always different clubs that you can join. You might go to church, there might be community groups that you're looking for, or there's loads of hobby-based groups and craft groups and things like that. So whatever your interest, there are different groups here that you can look into. The library is amazing. Our libraries here have lots of different activities going on. They have workshops, they have sewing groups, they have coding clubs, they have just so many different things for all age groups. So whether it's for yourself or for younger children or teenagers, there are always ways for you to hang out and make new friends. And the good thing about all of that is that when you're taking part in a shared purpose, it really does make the conversation easier. It gets rid of that awkwardness because you're there for a purpose, and you can ask people questions about what brought you here, what is it you enjoy about doing this, and that really does make it a lot easier and a lot less awkward. There was a family that we knew through an online forum. We knew that we were moving over to the same area. We knew that our husbands worked in the same industry as well. And we were moving over from the UK together around the same time. So we were actually able to meet in the UK in person with our kids before we made the move. And then a couple of weeks later, we met again in Australia. And we've been great friends ever since. And we've been each other's support network right from the beginning. When any of us had an emergency or when anyone needed anything, we were there for each other. So there's been times when I've had their kids, if they've had to do a quick dash to the hospital, or there's been times when my sink was leaking and my husband was away and I was able to call them to come and help me. And just knowing that you've got that is so important. And online communities are everywhere. So it's a great opportunity to put a call out in Facebook groups like my Move to Australia group. Just put a call out, say, does anyone live in this area? I'm just moving there. Or we'd love to meet anyone for coffee. People who've made the move as well, they know exactly what you're going through and they will want to support you. So it's a really great opportunity to create some real life friendships from these online groups. Not only that, online groups do offer a huge amount of support for you. I know not everybody necessarily lives around the corner from you, but they have the same experiences as you, and it really does help to know that you've got people to lean on if you're having a difficult time. Another great way to make new friends as an adult is with different kind of hobbies and interests. So maybe you're interested in fitness, so you could join a gym, or you could be part of a walking group or a hiking group. Maybe you're into crafts. As I say, you've got all of these different craft groups at the library, but there's also neighbourhood centres run lots of different craft activities and meetups and things. And then if you run a business, you've got loads of business networking groups of all different types. There's more formal ones, there's relaxed ones, there's women-only ones, there's mums in business ones. There's so many different business networking groups. So if you've got an interest in that, then that's a great way to meet people. And again, just give people your number and say, I'd love to meet for coffee after this. And then take that group networking that you're doing and then actually form friendships from that. It's really helpful. So look for local meetup events that are happening. There might be some apps, there might be local calendar events that are going on, or there might be actual meetups that are run through the Meetup app or through different events like Eventbrite or things like that to help people make new friends and to meet people. And it perhaps will focus on a shared interest, or it might have a particular theme to it, or it might just be a meetup for people who are new to the area. Have a look and take advantage of those because they're also a really great way. I know that I met some really lovely people at the meetups that I've gone to in the past, and I've organised them myself in the past, and they've been a lot of fun, and I've come away with some great new friends because of them. So making friends, it really does take that effort at the beginning, but it also really does involve continuing to show up and follow through with things as well. It's about repetition, so keeping on seeing the same people regularly. It's, yes, initially it can be a bit of small talk and a bit of kind of getting to know one another, but as you get to know each other, that gets deeper and then you become closer. So I know that can mean saying yes more even when it feels really inconvenient and you're busy and there's other things you need to do, but actually it really is important to prioritise making friendships because that will make your life better overall. So try to build in the time, try to make sure that you're seeing people on a regular basis. And as I say, when you start hanging out with more people, you'll start to feel who your people really are, which ones are the ones that you actually really want to focus on developing those friendships with, and just make sure that you keep following up with them, stay in touch with them. But as I said before, it really does involve you putting some energy into this and some energy behind it. You've got to put yourself out there. It's going to feel awkward. You're going to feel probably socially and emotionally exhausted after making the move, and it feels hard having to do this because I remember how it felt myself, and I really had to push myself to do it, and it can feel really awkward, and not every person that you chat to or interact with will lead anywhere, and that's okay. It's just about experimenting. It's about seeing where your people are and trying to find people that you feel a real connection with. And a little bit of effort really does go a long way, but consistency matters so much more than you realise. You don't need a lot of friends here. You don't need loads of friends. It's just great to have some key friends that are great to give you that support layer that you need. And if you keep showing up, before you know it, you'll realise you've created a social circle for yourself. If you do have kids, I know I've mentioned that already, but remember that your kids are looking at how you're navigating this whole move as well. So you're modelling the behaviour of somebody who is arriving in a new place and settling in. And if they see you putting yourself out there, then your kids are more likely to be able to do the same as well. And really, school for me was a key thing, because the kids make friends and you make friends with their parents. Play dates create natural connection points. Sort of kids' activities. It's just, I know it's so much easier. And I also know on the flip side that when you don't have kids, that can make things so much more challenging when it comes to making friends. But there are definitely lots of ways for you to get out there and actually have some social interactions and make some friends. So I want to leave you with 3 tips to help you make those friends. 1, choose places that you can go to where you can be consistent in showing up. So that might be the school gate, it might be a business networking event, it might be the gym, whatever it might be, or a hobby or a craft circle, whatever it is. Find somewhere that you can go and repeat and keep going and keep connecting with people. 2 is say yes to even small invitations, whether that's coffee after the school drop up, maybe a coffee after doing the park run, maybe it's just kind of casual chats that you're chatting in a playground, or you're chatting at a craft circle or at the library. But when you start talking to people and you tell them that you've just moved and you don't know anybody, almost everybody will say to you, well, let's go for a coffee then, because then you'll know me. And it's just a natural human instinct. So you've got to start saying yes to those small invitations. Number 3, initiate small follow-ups and don't be afraid to send invitations as well. So if somebody's got your number and they've texted you, make sure you follow up. And if they forget to text you back, follow up with them and just say, hey, how are you going? I wondered if you wanted to meet for that coffee. And in the moments that you have the opportunity, make sure that you are inviting people to places. Just kind of drop in an invitation. Hey, you've met them at a gym workout. Do you fancy meeting to go to this class next week? Or do you want to meet for a beach walk? Or do you want to go for a coffee? Or whatever it might be. Just make sure that you are getting invitations out there and that you're following up with the invitations that you're receiving. Friendships really do grow from small, repeated yeses. It's not about big gestures. You don't need to know people really in depth straight away. Just take it one step at a time and just start the ball rolling and start getting to know some people. You don't arrive with a network in Australia, but it's something that you actually build and cultivate yourself. And at the end of the day, the people that you meet here do tend to become like family, because they're people that you're really investing your time and energy into, and they're there to support you through all of the things. And you do find that you become incredibly close with people very quickly. It just takes a little bit of intention right at the beginning, but it is so worth it. So I can't wait to hear how you get on. If you found any of these tips useful, please do let me know, and do leave a positive review of this episode, because it really does help more people find the show. So that's it from me this week. I really hope you found it helpful. Don't let moving without a network scare you too much. You will create your own when you get here, and it's not as hard as you might think. It does take time, but it is definitely worth it. So in the meantime, let's get building your new life in Australia, one episode at a time. Planning your move to Australia? The Ultimate Immigration Checklist Bundle has everything you need to stay organised and stress-free as you navigate this adventure. Get yours today at movetoaustraliatoolkit.com.